Hi. Um, hmm, I just thought that I would, I would make a video, make a little video. I've been wanting to make a video, so I guess I'm starting now. Yes. This is corner camp like a champ. It rhymed a little bit, and it's a guide. It's a guide to playing Cypher. Valorant, Cypher from Valorant, Cypher, and I'm not the best Valorant player in the world. I just thought we can we can learn from each other, you and me. We can try and popular videos, popular videos. They make jokes. They're funny. I will make a joke. This is joke. This is joke. Joke. Incoming joke. Yeah, incoming joke. Knock knock. You say who's there. You say who's there. It's me. It's me. It's me at your house. It's me at your house. That was very funny. So, into the video. It's gameplay and little tidbits and tricks and funny jokes. Yes. Let's get it. I'm back. It is the next day. Then yes, it is the next day, and I have some clips. I have I have clips, and you should be seeing them, and you should be seeing the clips. So I guess I'll just speak to you. This video doesn't this video doesn't need to be watched. It can just be listened to. It can do anything really. Well, yes. So I wanted to start off. Wanted to say that I wanted to say that when placing your tripwire, I think it's important that you place it correctly. I'm not a big fan of the cyber cage. It's like a smoke that you can deploy before smoking the place, and keep in mind that it can be activated with your camera, but I use it as cover sometimes, but it's not the most helpful tool the Cypher has. The tripwire is much more helpful, and so I like to use that to. You can't place it too high, or else they can crouch underneath it, and you can it'll catch Sova's drones. You don't want Sova's drones. You want people to be caught in your snare, so you can then shoot them. so you can shoot them, and if you put it too low, then they can jump over it, and a boom bot could get caught in it. One of Raze's boom bots, and you don't want to catch a boom bot. You want to catch them. The advantages of a Cypher tripwire are several. You want the person to give away their location no matter what if they want to go through that door, either by shooting it or by being caught in it. As you can see on some of the clips, I often like to put a tripwire on Haven to catch people off guard and know where they are. Cypher it looks like a character biased towards defense, but Cypher looks like a character biased towards defense. But he actually can be used as... I'm gonna tell a story. I'm going to I was walking down the street one day. Clippity clop, clippity clop. Listening to the birds singing, but it was night. And that's when I met them. I met friendly people, friendly faces, and they smiled at me. They smiled and smiled and smiled and laughed and laughed. They laughed and 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 laughed, and they called me a fool, and I said, well, I am a fool. I am a fool, and they hit me atop the head. They hit me atop the head, and they cut me and bruised me until I didn't feel it anymore. The next day I awoke and I had new ornaments on me, new pieces on me. They laughed at me, and I was the jester. There's no place in jesters. There's no place for jesters anymore here. But I was the joke, and I was fine with that. I was completely fine with that. What was I saying? What was I saying? I was saying this. I was... Nice for guarding flanks. Tripwires are very useful for guarding flanks. They are useful for many things. On attack, you can lock down spikes that have been planted already and let the bombs go off. But on defense, remember that you can pick up tripwires and move them. For example, you don't want to leave a valuable trip. You only have a valuable tripwire behind. You don't want to leave one of those at an attacked objective. You don't want that. So you can pick them up and move them. And if by some lapse of judgment your enemy team decides to leave the spike on the ground, then you can usually make sure that it never gets back into their hands ever again. Now, I like to use the camera to look at flanks, and or look at place and look at places that you couldn't otherwise see. Look around corners. That's what I like to use them. But they can be planted in places where they'll push. Make sure to not spend too much time in your camera, because as you likely know, the camera it becomes uninvisible when you are in it. And that's a problem. They will shoot it immediately. They can see cameras on maps. Now, also keep in mind that you can activate cyber cages with your camera. That's always very helpful. So place a cyber cage near your camera, or maybe on your camera to hide your camera sometimes if you really need to. So that's something that I don't really do very often. You can also place cyber cages near tripwires and play it extra safe. It'll give you more time to push while they're trapped. And keep in mind the description, the description of the tripwire. It says that it dazes them, but it only dazes them if they don't destroy it for a very long time. But that's not a problem because they don't need to destroy the tripwire before they're dead most of the time. Caught in your little snare. Caught in your little snare. So, do you want to hear another joke? Well, let me think of a joke. One time it was the middle of the night, and I was walking down the street, and there were chickens crossing the road. In real life, that I thought of joke, and in real life, chickens crossing the road. I was walking. Obviously, I don't drive. I don't drive. I was walking, and a chicken got near me, and so I picked it up and I took it home with me because it was a very cute chicken. And eventually, the chicken wanted to leave. It didn't like being at my house with me. It wanted to go, and so I told the chicken, if you can leave that door, then you can run back home to your mother. And the chicken told me. The chicken said, please, sir, that would be absolutely wonderful if I could go see my mother again. And I let the child run out the door. I didn't lift a finger to stop them, but this is where Cypher comes in. Cypher, I've always felt a connection with Cypher. The chicken fell on my snare. I was left alone. So now that we know how to use Cypher's tactics, now that we are good at flanking and snares and cages, let's go and test them out together. Oh. It seems we've caught someone, friends. Don't worry, sweet dearie. It'll all be over soon.